Welcome to the dark underbelly of Hollywood's golden age. From scandalous affairs to mysterious deaths, these stories will make you see classic cinema in a completely different light. Let's dive into some of the most shocking tales ever to emerge. 1. The mysterious death of Thomas Ince.
A time when movies were made that would go on to stand the test of time as untouchable classics with unproblematic.
One of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries revolves around the sudden death of Thomas Ince, a pioneering filmmaker and founder of both Triangle Pictures, later MGM, and Paramount Studios. After experiencing some business setbacks, Ince decided to host a star-studded party aboard William Randolph Hearst's private yacht. The guest list included luminaries like Charlie Chaplin and other Hollywood elites. During the festivities, Ince suddenly fell ill and had to be rushed to shore for medical attention. Though he was reportedly discharged that same night, he was soon pronounced dead, with doctors citing heart disease as the cause. However, the timing and circumstances sparked widespread speculation. Ince had shown no previous signs of heart problems, leading many to question the official story. The most sensational theory suggests that Ince's death was actually an accident, the result of media mogul William Hearst attempting to shoot Charlie Chaplin in a jealous rage after catching him in a compromising position with Hearst's mistress. While this version of events has never been proven, it continues to captivate Hollywood historians. 2. Clara Bow, Hollywood's most controversial it girl.
Who's that?
That's Sonny Delane.
Clara Bow's reputation was forever tarnished by scandalous rumors about her personal life, many stemming from a bitter legal battle with her former secretary, Daisy DeVoe. After being fired, DeVoe stole not only $116,000 and jewelry, but also personal documents and financial records from Bow. She then sued for wrongful termination, leading to a very public court case. During the trial, salacious stories about Bow's alleged sexual encounters began circulating. The most outrageous claims suggested she had intimate relations with entire football teams and engaged in other shocking behavior. These rumors, though largely unfounded, severely damaged Bow's career and public image. The scandal became so widespread that one of her films was even banned from theaters. The truth eventually emerged when DeVoe was indicted on 37 counts of grand theft. However, the damage to Bow's reputation was already done. The court documents, which became public record, fueled tabloid speculation for years to come, proving that even in Hollywood's golden age, scandal could make or break a star's career. 3. Joan Crawford's hidden past and blackmail.
Miss Crawford, Joan, since I've seen so much of you.
Please, Will.
In the few weeks that you've been in England.
In the conservative atmosphere of early Hollywood, aspiring actors often face difficult choices to break into the industry. Before becoming a household name, Joan Crawford's career began with a series of controversial decisions that would later come back to haunt her. In the 1920s, she appeared in several softcore adult films, including one titled The Casting Couch, where she ironically played an actress willing to do anything for a role. When Crawford's mother discovered her daughter's involvement in these films, she threatened to disown her. However, fate intervened when Joan secured a major contract with MGM Studios. This breakthrough allowed her to become the primary financial supporter for both her mother and brother, though these relationships would later turn sour. As Crawford's star began to rise, her past refused to stay buried. Her own brother attempted to exploit her success by threatening to expose her adult film history to the press. This wasn't an isolated incident. Various individuals emerged over the years with similar threats. Reports suggest Crawford paid up to $100,000 to silence these blackmailers who claimed to possess potentially career-ending footage. 4. The dark side of Judy Garland's stardom.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Behind the magical world of The Wizard of Oz lay a disturbing reality for its young star, Judy Garland. Initially discovered by MGM executives for her exceptional voice, Garland's treatment by the studio reveals the cruel underbelly of Hollywood's star-making machine. As movie musicals gained popularity in the 1940s, and 50s, MGM became obsessed with controlling Garland's appearance. The studio enforced a strict regimen of diet pills, sleeping pills, and pep pills, leading to addiction by age 16. Her prescribed diet consisted primarily of chicken soup, coffee, and an alarming requirement to smoke 80 cigarettes daily. Even more disturbing were the physical measures taken to preserve her youthful image. Studio executives allegedly ordered her chest to be bound with tape and employed various methods to suppress her natural development. Perhaps most shocking were the allegations of intimate abuse by MGM head Louis B. Mayer, who helped enforce these strict controls over her life. Tragically, Garland's story ended at age 47 from a barbiturate overdose, before she could complete her memoir detailing her experiences as a child star. Her story stands as a dark testament to Hollywood's treatment of young talents during its supposed golden age. 5. Marilyn Monroe's mysterious death and political connections.
Honest, she's just dumb. Always falling in love with some man just because he's good looking.
In 1962, Hollywood was rocked by the sudden death of its brightest star, Marilyn Monroe. At just 36 years old, Monroe was found dead in her home, with the official cause listed as a barbiturate overdose. While authorities ruled it a probable suicide, many believe there was more to the story, particularly regarding her alleged involvement with the Kennedy family. What raised eyebrows was the peculiar pattern that emerged after her death. Within 6 months, nearly everyone close to Monroe mysteriously landed high-profile government positions. This suspicious timing led many to believe it was part of an elaborate cover-up to keep Monroe's relationship with President John F. Kennedy from becoming public knowledge. 6. Howard Strickling, Hollywood's dark fixer. In Golden Age Hollywood, every studio had its fixer, someone who handled scandals and protected the studio's image. Howard Strickling, MGM's head of publicity, became infamous for one particular service, arranging illegal abortions for actresses. During an era when such procedures were strictly prohibited, Strickling became the go-to person for stars facing unwanted pregnancies. However, darker rumors suggested that Strickling's involvement wasn't always at the actress's request. Several prominent stars, including Jean Harlow, Judy Garland, and Bette Davis, were allegedly forced into these procedures to protect the studio's investments. The reasoning was simple. Pregnant actresses meant production delays and potential scandals, both bad for business. 7. The tragic case of Fatty Arbuckle. Sometimes rumors alone were enough to destroy a career. Silent film star Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle learned this the hard way. After signing one of Hollywood's most lucrative contracts, his life turned upside down when actress Virginia Rappe fell ill during a party at his hotel room. She died days later from a ruptured bladder. Arbuckle faced murder charges amid sensational claims that he had assaulted Rappe, with prosecutors arguing his weight had caused her fatal injuries. The truth eventually emerged. Rappe's condition was actually due to complications from multiple previous abortions, compounded by excessive alcohol consumption. Despite being fully exonerated and receiving a formal apology from the judge, Arbuckle's career never recovered from the false allegations. 8. Natalie Wood's marriage scandal.
See that star right underneath the 7? That's my papa's signature.
Natalie Wood's personal life became tabloid fodder when her marriage to Robert Wagner ended in 1961. The most shocking rumor suggested that Wood had discovered her husband in an intimate encounter with another man at their Beverly Hills home. This scandal, combined with allegations of her mother's abusive behavior throughout her career, painted a tragic picture of one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses. The story of Natalie Wood reveals the darker side of child stardom in Hollywood. Unlike modern scandals that often make headlines immediately, Wood's troubled past remained hidden behind carefully crafted public relations. When her marriage to Robert Wagner suddenly ended in 1961, she chose to take the blame for their divorce, allowing tabloids to paint her as unfaithful. The truth, however, was far more complex. Rumors suggested she had discovered Wagner in a compromising position with another man, something that would have devastated his career in that era. Wood's vulnerability stemmed from her childhood, where her mother Maria's obsession with fame shaped her daughter's destiny. Maria's aggressive pursuit of stardom for her daughter allegedly led to disturbing arrangements, including forcing young Natalie to socialize with powerful men in the industry. Perhaps most shocking were the rumors that Maria arranged meetings between 15-year-old Natalie and Frank Sinatra and allegedly facilitated a relationship with 42-year-old director Nicholas Ray to secure movie roles. 9. Errol Flynn's controversial trial.
Will you not be a little idiot? Your life isn't worth a plug nickel as long as Surratt stays out of jail. You're the key to our case, and he knows it.
As World War II drew to a close, Australian-born action star Errol Flynn faced serious allegations that threatened to destroy his career. Two young women, Betty Hansen and Peggy Satterley, aged 17 and 15 respectively, accused Flynn of sexual assault. Their testimonies painted a disturbing pattern. Flynn allegedly had a habit of spiking the drinks of aspiring actresses before taking advantage of them. The district attorney, recognizing Flynn's star power could influence the case, strategically selected a predominantly female jury. However, Flynn's defense team, led by legendary Hollywood fixer Jerry Giesler, mounted an aggressive counterattack. Through ruthless cross-examination and character assassination of the accusers, Giesler managed to secure Flynn's acquittal. Many industry insiders believed Flynn's influence and wealth, rather than actual innocence, secured his freedom. 10. The mysterious death of Olive Thomas. The tragic end of actress Olive Thomas remains one of Hollywood's most puzzling cases. Known for her risque modeling work and magnetic screen presence, Thomas had navigated multiple marriages and affairs before settling down with actor Jack Pickford. Their relationship, however, was far from perfect. Pickford's reputation as a womanizer and his battle with syphilis created constant tension. During a vacation in Paris in September 1920, Thomas ingested a lethal dose of mercury bichloride, a medication prescribed for Pickford's syphilis symptoms. While officially ruled an accident, with authorities suggesting she mistook the solution for sleeping medicine or water, darker theories emerged. Some speculated she took her own life, worn down by Pickford's infidelity and substance abuse. Even more sinister were suggestions that Pickford himself had orchestrated her death for insurance money, though these claims were never proven. 11. The ferocious feud of the de Havilland sisters.
And I can't catch my breath.
One of Hollywood's most infamous sibling rivalries played out between Oscar-winning actresses Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine. Their tumultuous relationship began in childhood, where they shared a bedroom but little sisterly affection. Their fights were legendary, from hair-pulling to more serious incidents, including one where Olivia fractured Joan's collarbone after Joan had attempted to drown her. Perhaps most chilling was Joan's later admission that she had planned to end her sister's life during their youth. Their rivalry reached its peak during the Academy Awards, where both sisters were nominated in the same category. Joan emerged victorious, later remarking she felt certain Olivia would reach across from the stands and strangle her. Though Olivia would later win her own Oscar, by then the sisters were no longer on speaking terms. The depth of their estrangement became evident when Joan missed their mother's passing while on tour, barely making it to the memorial service. Even there, witnesses reported the sisters didn't exchange a single word. Before her death at 96, Joan made a final jab at her sister, declaring Olivia would hate her for dying first, as she had beaten her sister to every other life milestone: marriage, Oscar wins, and children. Ironically, Olivia had the last laugh, living to 104 and consistently maintaining there was never any feud between them. 12. Carl Switzer's fatal dog training dispute. The tragic end of former Our Gang star Carl Switzer, known for playing Alfalfa, came from an unlikely source: a dispute over dog training fees. After his acting career declined, Switzer had turned to dog breeding and training. When a client's dog belonging to Moses Bud Stilts went missing under his care, Switzer spent $50, equivalent to $500 today, to recover it. Seeking reimbursement, an intoxicated Switzer confronted Stilts at his home, accompanied by his friend Jack Piot. The encounter turned violent with conflicting accounts of what transpired. Stilts claimed self-defense, saying Switzer threatened him with a knife, leading him to draw his firearm. However, Stilts' own stepson, Tom Corrigan, later revealed a different story, that Switzer was shot in the groin while attempting to leave the premises, suggesting the killing was intentional rather than self-defense. Despite Corrigan's testimony, the case was ruled as justified self-defense. 13. Jeanette MacDonald's MGM love triangle. The romance between screen stars Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy exemplifies how studio control could destroy genuine love. Their on-screen chemistry in various musicals sparked a real-life romance, but their relationship faced strong opposition from MGM head Louis B. Mayer. The studio executives saw their relationship as a potential threat to their carefully crafted public images and box office appeal. The relationship between Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy represents one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking love stories. Their romance blossomed naturally, but MGM's powerful head, Louis B. E. Mayer, saw their relationship as a threat to their careers, particularly Jeanette's. His opposition wasn't merely passive, he actively worked to destroy their connection. The situation reached a critical point when Jeanette became pregnant with Nelson's child. In the conservative atmosphere of old Hollywood, having a child out of wedlock could destroy careers instantly. Mayer, wielding his considerable influence, threatened to blacklist both stars if they proceeded with the pregnancy. Under this immense pressure, Jeanette appeared to comply with his demands for an abortion. However, unknown to everyone involved, she actually suffered a miscarriage, a fact that remained hidden, while others believed she had terminated the pregnancy. The misunderstanding proved fatal to their relationship. Nelson, believing Jeanette had chosen her career over their child, left her. Mayer, ever the manipulator, used this personal tragedy to his advantage, leveraging Jeanette's vulnerability to trap her in additional movie contracts. He continued his campaign against the couple, sending threats to Eddy and even orchestrating damage to his car. 14. William Taylor's mysterious murder.
On the right is silent film director William Desmond Taylor. On February 1st,
1921, Hollywood was shaken by the discovery of William D. Taylor's lifeless body in his Los Angeles bungalow. The circumstances surrounding his death were immediately suspicious. When his body was found, an unidentified man claiming to be a doctor appeared at the scene, declared Taylor's death due to a stomach hemorrhage, and then vanished without a trace. Later examination revealed Taylor had actually died from a gunshot wound. The investigation produced several suspects: his girlfriend Mabel Norman, an obsessed fan named Mary Miles Minter, and his former employee Edward Sands, who had previously stolen $5,000 from him. However, just a week into the investigation, police were mysteriously ordered to abandon the case. Many believe Taylor's death was connected to his crusade against substance abuse in the film industry. He had been vocal about cleaning up movie sets and eliminating illegal substances, potentially making powerful enemies in the process. This theory gained traction when evidence suggested mob involvement in his murder, though the truth remains buried in Hollywood's dark history. 15. Maureen O'Hara's stand against yellow journalism. In 1957, Hollywood was rocked by a scandal involving the beloved actress Maureen O'Hara. Confidential magazine, the TMZ of its era, published a salacious article claiming O'Hara had engaged in an intimate encounter at a movie theater. For a single devout Catholic star in conservative 1950s Hollywood, such allegations could be career-ending. But O'Hara wasn't about to let her reputation be tarnished. She took unprecedented action by suing the magazine for defamation. Armed with her passport as evidence, she proved she wasn't even in the country during the alleged incident. She had been filming Fire Over Africa overseas. While Confidential attempted to silence their accusers with settlements, O'Hara stood firm. Her testimony, along with criminal charges against the publication, led to Confidential's formal agreement to cease publishing celebrity stories. 16. The alleged affair between two screen legends. One of Hollywood's most intriguing rumors involves screen legends Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich. In an era when same-sex relationships were strictly taboo, whispers circulated about a passionate affair between these two iconic actresses. According to Diana McClellan's book, The Girls, Sappho Goes to Hollywood, Garbo fell deeply in love with Dietrich, who allegedly viewed their relationship as merely casual. The aftermath of their affair reportedly led Garbo to demand absolute secrecy from her future female lovers and desperately tried to silence Dietrich, who had begun spreading gossip. Though both actresses publicly denied even knowing each other, McClellan's book detailed an intricate web of relationships between them and other Hollywood figures. 17. Roman Polanski's infamous flight.
The United States had requested the Oscar-winning director's extradition after he made a high-profile appearance in Warsaw 2 years.
In 1977, director Roman Polanski faced serious legal troubles when he was charged with 6 counts related to an incident involving a 13-year-old girl. His legal team negotiated a plea bargain that would drop 5 charges if he pleaded guilty to unlawful violation of a minor. The deal suggested possible probation, but when rumors circulated that the judge planned to impose a 50-year sentence instead, Polanski took drastic action. On the day of his trial, he fled to London and subsequently relocated to France. This decision would mark the beginning of his decades-long exile from Hollywood, as his legal situation remained unresolved. 18. The Polanski scandal and French exile. After fleeing to France, Roman Polanski found protection under French citizenship laws that prevented his extradition. His legal troubles resurfaced in 2009 when he appeared on Interpol's Most Wanted list during a visit to Switzerland. The director spent 2 months under house arrest in Zurich before being declared a free man, much to the frustration of U.S. authorities. Since then, he's remained primarily in France, rarely venturing beyond its borders. 19. Elizabeth Taylor's scandalous love triangle.
Elizabeth Taylor says she can't remember a time when she wasn't famous. Famous for her act.
The golden age of Hollywood witnessed many scandalous affairs, but few were as notorious as the Elizabeth Taylor, Eddie Fisher, Debbie Reynolds triangle. Reynolds, who had already endured public humiliation from Gene Kelly, faced an even greater betrayal from her husband, Eddie Fisher. The couple had married in 1955 and had 2 children, including future Star Wars icon Carrie Fisher. When Elizabeth Taylor's third husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash, Fisher went to comfort his friend's widow. This consolation quickly evolved into an affair that dominated tabloid headlines. Taylor was branded a homewrecker, while Fisher abandoned Reynolds and their children. The scandal intensified when Fisher divorced Reynolds and married Taylor shortly after. However, Taylor's marriage to Fisher proved short-lived. She began an affair with Richard Burton, divorced Fisher on March 5, 1964, and married Burton just 10 days later. Taylor would go on to have 8 marriages before her death in 2011 at age 79. 20. Jackie Coogan, the case that changed child star laws. Jackie Coogan's story revolutionized how Hollywood treats child actors' earnings. After starring in major films like The Kid with Charlie Chaplin, Coogan had earned approximately $4 million, equivalent to $50 million today, before turning 21. His father managed these assets until his death in a car accident where Jackie was the sole survivor. On his 21st birthday, Coogan discovered his mother and stepfather had squandered his fortune on luxury items like fur coats and cars. When confronted, his mother notoriously claimed he wasn't entitled to anything because he didn't know he was acting as a child. Though Coogan won his lawsuit, he recovered only $126,000 of his original earnings. This case led to the creation of the California Child Actors Bill, commonly known as the Coogan Law, which requires that at least 15% of a child actor's earnings be placed in a protected trust. While the law came too late for Coogan, it has protected countless young performers since. These dark tales from Hollywood's golden age remind us that beneath the glamour and glitz, Tinseltown has always harbored shocking secrets. While some led to positive change, others forever changed the lives of those involved.